Welcome to this episode of Wanderlust Solo Women Travel-Unscripted. Real women, real stories, real journeys, and no filter. Join Gina, your host, to share the experiences and stories of solo female travelers and advocates from all over the world, with a mission to empower women of all ages, backgrounds, and life stages to embrace solo female travel with confidence and enthusiasm, while being authentic and real, unscripted. Confronting the challenges and apprehensions many women face when considering solo adventures, providing inspiration to break through those barriers, sharing how life transitions, loss, and trauma can lead to amazing experiences, rediscovery, and life journeys. The good, the bad, and the ugly of authentic and honest travel. So let's throw out the script, get comfy, and jump right into this episode.
In this episode, we welcome Grainne Bankhead. After more than 20 years working in hair salons, she made a big career change. She is now the founder of Help You Home, a travel safety app and NFC wristband that gives travelers confidence, independence, and peace of mind wherever they go. A quote from her is saying, "I love traveling solo or not, and I want to help other people get enjoyment from it too. Too many are held back by anxiety and the what if, so I developed something to help prepare for the unknown." In this episode, we will discuss how to overcome fears as a solo female traveller, tools you can use, and how also travelling with diversities and health illnesses can affect your travels and how to work around them. I can't wait for this episode, so let's dive in. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Wanderlust Solo Women Travel, and I am super excited to welcome our next guest. And she is coming to us all the way from Ireland. We've had guests from all over the world, but this is the first person to Zoom in from Ireland. So, Grainne, thank you for being here.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So, as you would have seen in her bio, she has developed an amazing app for travelers and students as well. So we'll delve into that as we go on in the podcast. I think it's an amazing creation. So well done, you.
Thank you.
But we always start our podcast with our signature pass the parcel question. And I think this really relates really well to you, especially because it sort of leads into how your idea was born. So
yes, yeah.
This is a really good question. Cover your ears if you don't like swear words, everybody. So what has been your biggest fuck it moment while traveling? How did the fuck it work out, and what did you learn from it? Did you apply this in your day-to-day life? So what was a big event, a big muck up in your traveling that you went, God, I need to change something? And what was that moment, and what did it lead to?
Okay, so while I was traveling, it was actually with my sister, and we were just out and about and had been exploring the city one day, and I got completely lost. We still don't know how we even got separated, but I was absolutely terrified. She was the one that made the hotel booking, so I didn't have a clue even what the name of the hotel was, what the address of it was. I vaguely remembered the name, but when I Googled it, there was 3 with similar kind of names, so I didn't even know which one it was, and I just was absolutely petrified. She wasn't answering her phone, and I just panicked, didn't know what to do. From that, when I came home, I started researching, like, is there anything that's out there that helps you prepare to make sure that you never get into that situation? And there wasn't anything at all. So I just decided I was going to build something myself.
That's so awesome.
The idea then came off the app, and that was initially just started that it was going to be something that you could put your hotel address in one button and it would show you how to get to your hotel. And then the more I researched it, I realized that yes, people are scared of getting lost, but there's the top 3 are getting separated from their group, getting mugged or robbed, and just not being able to communicate with each other. So that's when I decided to bring in some other features as well. So we've brought in the panic alarm, the share your location. With the panic alarm, what it'll do, it will, if you haven't turned it off within 30 seconds, it'll then send your location with an alert help alert to the contacts of the people that you're traveling with.
Awesome.
So they can then send help to you as well. So yeah, just from then, it's honestly has changed a lot within my life because it's now become my whole job.
Yeah. And and that's all it takes sometimes. Question, did you
Hmm.
find your way back to the hotel in the end?
I did, yes.
There is a happy ending?
She eventually answered her phone and she was like, I was about 3 minutes from it.
Saying because, and you're very right, especially when you're not the one actually making most of the travel plans.
Hmm.
And I know people that if they're traveling with a friend or a relative, they're actually sometimes not even interested in the travel plans. They
Yeah.
just go, oh, they
You're
booked.
up at the
I
airport.
just need to arrive. Yeah, I just need to arrive and I don't need to wait. And it's not till like you said, you need that information. You go, oh,
Hmm.
hang on a minute. I actually don't know. I've always in the past, when I've got to the hotel or wherever, I take their card because especially if you're in a foreign country, because if you tell someone the address in English,
Yes,
they're not necessarily going to understand what on earth you're saying as well. So I
exactly.
think
Yeah.
having everything like you've developed in one place, which we'll sort of go into later on in the podcast, I think such a great idea. And in that moment, it's all your anxieties and your fears come up. And I mean, nobody wants to feel that, do they?
No, that's exactly it. And I think a lot of people are put off from traveling, especially on their own, because of
Yeah,
the thought of what can go wrong. So with developing something like this, it's preparing you for the unknown. It means that
yeah.
you have that peace of mind that if something does go wrong, then you have the tools to deal with it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because I know you've got the app for it, but what I really love, which I think is really relevant, is the wristband, which, we'll also explain later on.
Yeah.
Because if you lose your phone, which I think is something that freaks me out, and I'm sure it freaks because all our information's on there. Like, I could not tell you my best friend's phone number. I have
No.
no idea. Once upon a time, we would memorize phone numbers, wouldn't
Mhm.
we? And now it just comes up with a name. I have no idea. But I can remember my childhood landline
Oh,
phone
me too.
number.
But
I
we
can
never
remember
have to
that.
use it. We never
Yeah.
have to use people's mobile numbers, so we don't.
That's such a relevant thing because like you've talked to when we were talking before, if you're in an emergency and you need to tell someone a contact phone number, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. So with the wristband, it does it. You see if the contact number of whoever you're traveling with onto it, and it will when the person that finds you, so say an ambulance driver or just anybody that you ask for help, they can tap the phone with their NFC on their, or sorry, tap the wristband with their phone as long as it's got NFC. So that's the same as what you would use for Apple Pay or Google Pay. And if they
Which
tap
most
it,
phones have.
most of them do now, yeah. Your travel friends' contact details will then appear on their screen and they can directly dial through there. You can also save your medical details onto it as well. So if you do have epilepsy or something like that, or if you're asthmatic, have any allergies, they're all there for people to see as well. So they can make sure that you're getting the help you need straight away rather
Yeah.
than not knowing
And I
what's
love
wrong.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that feature of your medical details
Yeah.
because I've even told my mum now because she's been in and out of hospital recently, and I've told her, "Can you write your medical details, like all her medications, on something on a piece of paper and leave it
Uh-huh.
in your wallet?" Because we've had the situation where we've had to go with her in the ambulance, and the staff are asking us what she's taking or
Yes.
whatever. I have no idea.
I know. Especially, it's different whenever if it's somebody that's got dementia and you take care of all their medication and things like that. But someone that's still independent,
Yeah.
you don't have that over them. So yeah, definitely. It was also something that I was quite nervous about because of I have an illness myself. It actually causes me, I can faint, it's nerve damage, so I can
Oh wow.
get
Yeah.
tremors and things.
Yeah.
And I was very, or just lose the strength of my legs to fall. And I was very conscious that if I was going to be anywhere on my own, I didn't want people to think that it was drugs or drink related.
Yeah. Yep.
Needed people to know that I needed help,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Because if anyone thinks you're drunk and lying on the street, 99% of people don't
Especially
help
in
you.
the, yeah, and the,
Yes, yeah, yeah. So just knowing that I could tell somebody this is what's wrong with me sort of gave me that reassurance as well that
yeah.
that yeah, it's going to be okay.
Has having your health issue, has that made you change how you travel or your travel choices?
To be honest, I've done more solo travel since I've sort of got back onto my feet from being so
Yeah.
ill. I think it's because I want to be able to pace myself. And I don't want to feel guilty that I'm holding other people back.
Yeah.
So if I'm not feeling well a day, I don't want to ruin everybody else's day because I can't go anywhere. So I think definitely it has changed things from that perspective. Yeah.
That's actually really interesting and a really good perspective in the sense that it's actually propelled you in a way to go solo
Yeah.
traveling and
It
rely on
has, yes.
yourself more and on an ironic way. And
Hmm.
it gives you that freedom. Yeah, because I have talked to someone else about this that had neurodiversities of building in downtime. So if they need a rest in the afternoon or whenever, that they can build that in. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I had never thought about it that way because there is so much more pressure, I suppose, if you are traveling in a group.
Yeah. Because I used to be that person that had a full itinerary and we did this at this time, we do this at this time. I would have hated traveling with me now. But now it's just like, we'll see what happens. So yeah, I
Yeah.
might have an idea of what I want to do each day, but it wouldn't be that set in stone. There's no schedule or anything like that. If I miss it, I'll just go back another time and do it again.
Which is actually a little bit freeing in a way that you're not got that pressure in a sense to, I must tick that off this day. You know, I have
Yes.
to do this,
Yeah.
I have to do that. That your whole travel style is different.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And again, I don't think I would be able to do that if I was traveling with other people. I would feel the pressure that
Yeah.
they're missing out on something because of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely something that it's very free. Um,
But I've had other women come, well, when they, contact me about coming on a trip, that's one of, if they have any health issues or even older women, that is one thing that they say to me is, I'm worried I'm going to hold other people back.
yes,
That is a really big concern when they're considering going on group trips. And I think that's such a valid point. And in a way, I think it's amazing that you've still embraced it and you've not stopped. It hasn't stopped you. You're still going and doing these things,
yeah,
but you're just doing them in the way that now suits you and
yeah,
that enables you to facilitate that. So I think that's amazing.
yeah. And I get double the holiday out of it most times. So if I'm going to an event there's an event in Malta that I like to go to, and it's 3 days. I take the full week, couple of days before, couple of days after.
Your journey, your way. And if you want to sleep in, you can sleep in.
Exactly. Yes. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
I love that. And so, like, developing this app, I mean, to going from what you were doing to developing an app, which isn't an easy thing. I mean, we all have ideas. I mean, but taking that next step and making that idea a reality, that's quite a big thing to do. And I think some people probably would feel quite daunted by it.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that, and what is some advice you'd give someone else maybe who's got a really neat idea and trying to think how to do it?
Well, to be honest, my illness actually accelerated it as well. I had to give up work and I sort of had felt like I had completely lost my purpose. This was at the back of my mind this whole time that this is something I want to do. I had
Yeah.
all the time in the world. Why not learn to do it myself? So I just had that time, had the want to do it,
Yeah.
and I couldn't go anywhere to get away from it either, to be honest. So almost became an obsession for me that I built the first version of the app in 5 days because I just was like, I want to see this working.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that.
It's okay. It's just that when you were off work, it sort of forced you to do it, and then you built the bit in the first 5 days.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, then it it was then a case of, well, now I've got the idea, I've got something to show for it. What do I do with it now? And it's crazy how many councils and local places that actually do help, especially women,
yeah,
to get businesses off the ground. If it's something you're thinking of doing, I know in my area, you literally just have to have an idea and go to your council, and they will get business plans set up for you and just help you as much as they can. Most areas also have funding that you can get.
yeah,
I know here we have a lot of tech funding, tech
like
grants, sorry.
startups.
Yeah. So you have your startup, but there's once you go past that, there's different or categories. So if, for example, you get a small grant at startup level, and that's got you enough to get your prototype or to do your research to make sure that you're validating that there is a need
Yeah,
for whatever the product is, then you can go ahead and get more money from other areas to try and get it built. Now, a lot of them are private and they're quite hard to get, but they the support that you get around them from the groups that you're applying to is invaluable. There's things in there that you
yeah,
would never even think that you need to know. So I would say my advice is just to, if you have the idea, just reach out to your council or local women in business groups or things like that, and join as many Facebook groups, things like that, because the advice is all out there when you go looking for it.
yeah. And I think that's the thing. And the resources are there. I know even here in New Zealand, there are grants for women in business,
Yeah,
tech startup grants, but it's just a case of doing that research. And I think you touched on a really good thing, doing your research that whatever you're thinking of or your product is needed. I think whatever your idea is or service, it's got to have a need or solve a problem.
yeah.
So, those are the two really important things, to
And
start
yeah,
off. Yeah.
and you need to see it as what somebody needs rather than what the
Yeah.
problem is. For instance, if you're going traveling, you don't think that you need, or sorry, you don't want to have to have a map, but it doesn't mean you don't need it.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it's like, I can't remember who said it, but nobody needs a spade. They need a hole. So you don't buy the spade because you need a spade. You buy it because you need to dig a hole.
Oh my God, I'm going to use that saying. I've never heard it before. That might be the quote for the podcast today. Make that your tagline. You may not need the spade, but you definitely need the hole. Oh, that's gold. I love it, and that's really good to sort of lean on and segue into the next bit I want to ask you is, which you've sort of answered in a way, but from this whole process, like if you go look back from that moment that you did get lost and you were in that horror, panic state, into being sick, that's a trauma in itself, staying home, coming up with this idea, making it reality. About this whole process, what has it taught you actually about yourself?
Probably the two main things are how resilient I am. So I'm not willing to sit down and be at home all the time. Um, when I have an idea, or even if I didn't have that idea, I still would have tried to do something to get me back out there. The other thing is that I was awful at asking people for help, and I have got better. But yeah, that's another thing with building a business. unless you're willing to ask people for help, you're going to be on your own.
Yeah.
You aren't going to get anywhere. So even at the worst of my illness, I wouldn't have asked anybody to help me. I would have dragged myself along the place rather than saying, "Would you go and get me a glass of water, please?"
I understand that. And I think that that's such a woman thing too, where we're very eager to help others,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not very good in asking for help. And I have heard
Yes.
this quite a bit, that we'll be the first ones that will go and help everybody else. But I don't know why we don't. I think whether we don't want to bother other people, or we don't want to worry other people, or we want to prove that we can do it ourselves, or maybe a mixture of all of those things.
Yeah. And probably a little bit. You don't want to admit how bad you are to yourself either. You don't want to be the weak person to
Yeah.
an extent. I think women are already seen as the weaker sex anyway. So anything that makes us look worse or weaker, we're gonna hide.
Yeah.
People with autism, women with autism or neurodivergent women, a lot of them mask their symptoms, and that's it boils down to, that they're masking it because they don't think people will understand,
Yeah.
and they're trying to be stronger and go through it, and that's why so many women aren't undiagnosed for so long, because it's not as obvious as it would be.
No, exactly. It's not, those sort of things aren't like physical illnesses or disabilities, and that we can see. So we do struggle along, and we do want to prove, yes, that prove that we can do this stuff, and
Yes,
we don't
yeah,
need help. And it quite often, especially later on in life, a lot of women suffer from burnout, and it's because of all these things. And
yes,
luckily, we are talking about them more now, which
yes.
is really good.
And that's another thing, people need to start opening up a lot more as well. I can say from my own personal experience when I was so ill that I was in a very low place. Probably building my app has helped massively with it. I've sort of started to say to people that I was building an app that helped people find their way. And in doing so, I found myself and my purpose as well. So
Yeah.
it almost guided me where I needed to be as well. So it's totally changed my mindset as well. And I think it's made me a lot more aware of how other people feel. You can pick up on other people's, when people start to get low, pick up on it a lot quicker as well.
Yeah, and I think that's actually really beautiful. It was an idea to help other people, but it actually was helping you. And again, that's not a. I think sometimes we think, like I was talking to you before we started this podcast, how this podcast has helped me,
Yes,
come out of my shell and practice public speaking and all that. And I think we need to acknowledge those things too. That we need to sometimes do these comfortable things, but beautiful things come out of it,
exactly. Yes.
which I think is so amazing.
Yeah, it's just about taking that leap of faith, isn't it? Just
100%.
believing in yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And now going back into your app, I'm going to share a whole lot of details in the comment section and in the social tags. But it's an app you have on your phone, correct? And
That's right.
it's
Yes.
for Apple, and I see it's for iOS now. Is that correct?
It is just starting testing for iOS. So
Yeah,
hopefully we'll have it launched by middle end of September. But the wristband, it can be read by any phone. So you do need to have Android to be able to write your information onto it at the moment. By the end of September, hopefully it'll have rolled right out to Apple as well.
that's
Anybody
very
will be able
exciting.
to. I know, I know. I didn't realise how I'm more excited about it than I was about launching it in the first place, because I didn't realise how many people used Apple phones. But because I was building it myself, Apple is just a minefield. I wouldn't have a clue how to do that. Whereas I had found this tool that helped me build a really simple Android app. So that's where I started. So, and I would be an Android user myself. So I was able to keep testing it and things like that. And then
Yeah.
just from there, I was like, wait, you see this? Wait, you see this? And people are like, oh, I've got an Apple phone. So they can
Well, I
use
can't wait to maybe test it on my upcoming trip, and it might work in perfectly for that. So if I do that, I will share it. And if
great.
anyone wants to find out more, I'll keep everybody up to date. And as we round off this episode, I have a quick fire round for you. So just think whatever comes to the top of your head. Don't over analyze it. There's just going to be 5 quick questions. Do you have a favorite road trip song? It's always putting people on the spot when I do this.
Wow. I have to say, I'm a
You might
massive.
have to hum it.
I won't be doing that. But probably, rather than a song, it would be Kylie, a mix of Kylie songs, probably.
It's a proper jam. Love that.
Proper cheesy.
Hey, it's all about good vibes, eh? And she definitely does that. If you had to pick when you're traveling, do you fold your clothes or roll your clothes?
Going, fold, coming home, dump.
You're not the first person that has said that, which I find really funny. Gosh. In the plane, are you a window seat or aisle seat person?
Window.
Yeah, me too. What is another one? Oh, what is one of the best cities you've traveled to?
Without a doubt, Barcelona. Absolutely love it. It's got everything. Love the architecture and the fact that you've got the beach there as well. It's just
True.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
everything.
I was only briefly there. I was on my way to Gibraltar. I spent more time in Gibraltar than I did in Barcelona, but yeah, but it was beautiful. Yeah. And the last question, what is an unexpected thing you have in your travel bag?
I have everything in there.
You can do it. You can.
I have wristbands. So yes, the wristband, a really good travel safety app. But honestly, everything in there. Probably safety pins would be quite a
That's
niche
interesting,
one.
but they're very handy, and I have them too. They have come in many uses for many things.
Exactly. Or clothes pegs. I can use clothes pegs for anything.
Awesome. So as we end this awesome episode with you, I just want to see, what is your question that you're going to ask our next guest for our Pass the Parcel question?
Okay. So, learning that you had the confidence to travel on your own, what changes have you made within your life at home because of this?
So don't forget, it's Help You Home app.
Yes.
And I will put where to find that below. But it's been so lovely to have you on the show. I really, really appreciate your time and coming in, getting up very early in the morning over there in Ireland.
Oh, it's fine. No problem. I've really enjoyed it, actually. So
Awesome.
The nerves were for no reason.
Exactly. So remember, everyone, to tune in to the next episode. And remember also, it's never too late to unleash your wanderlust. Till next time.
Thanks for listening. Please share the love by liking, commenting, or subscribing, or join us in our Facebook community.